Hey there, it's Tom's Tech Show. Today we're going over a lot of Disney stuff, so including Galaxy's Edge. So let's hit it. Hey there, it's Tom's Tech Show. I do videos like this one, which is about Star Wars and Disneyland, some things like that. We were at the park yesterday. I also do videos about photography and about technology, kind of my day job stuff. They're arranged in playlists, so if you only want one, you're only interested in one subject, one playlist, just go through that playlist. It makes it real easy here on YouTube. All right. So we were at the parks yesterday at Disneyland and California Adventure. It's about 80 miles away from my house, so it makes it a nice, easy day trip. Took it down. We did the. They were having an Easter egg hunt thing this time of year around Easter. They hide some eggs in the park. I've got some of the sheets that they give you. Let's see if my roaming cam is working here. It's a new thing here. I'm just trying to set this up, see if it comes up here. And we are thinking about it. See if it actually works. There we go. We're only about 20 seconds behind in this review. So they give you these little things, these little sheets like this. There's that one. That was the California Adventure one. So they hide all these eggs around the park in different places and different rides, and it gives you a little hint as to where it's going to be. Some of the hints were way off. So there's also one for Downtown Disney, and then there's also another one for Disneyland, which we'll show here whenever the buffer gets finished. But it's pretty fun to spend a couple of hours. I mean, when you've been to the parks as many times as I have, probably, I don't know, the last count, one pass a couple years ago, it was passing like 200 times or something like that. So when you've been to the park that many times, you look for other kind of adventurous things to do, and they provide these kind of little adventure things to do, finding these little Easter things. They do. At the end, when you turn them in, they give you these little eggs, and inside the egg is a sticker. So, for kids and stuff, it's kind of nice, if you're running around with kids and everything, to find these little things and have some fun with it. We have fun with it, just being in the park and doing stuff and kind of being crazy and having some fun there in the park. So we do have a whole set of these eggs now from this year. Try and put this thing back together. So there's we'll flip back on the regular camera here to make this a little easier. So this is the new little Dumbo. There's the little mouse that goes with Dumbo. There's a new Minnie Mouse this year. There was also a new Mickey Mouse this year. And what else do we have? Oh, we had a this is Maleficent, and that pair there. So you could go, and every time you did one, you could get it was like $8, I think, for each sheet that was there. So each one of these was about that. So each of the eggs gives, with the annual, they were giving annual pass holder discounts on this, so you could get a little bit of a discount. So it was like $12 for two. So you go to each park. There's one in Disneyland, one in California Adventure, and one in Downtown Disney. So you can go through all the different areas of Disneyland. Some of the stores, I think in Downtown Disney, they're just trying to get you to go into the store, hoping that you will buy something. But we were a little more diligent than that. We actually went straight through, and we were able to just get them all. Okay, so that's kind of what we did this weekend. We were also talking with different people and stuff at the park about what might be happening. How is this all going to work out? Getting people in and out. Like I said, we have been there many, many times. We actually are the Carnation Cafe. We're fairly well known to some of the chefs there. They actually know our order. We don't, since Mrs. Tech Show has many allergies to different foods, We just go in and order our special plate, and the chef has a picture of our order on his cell phone that he uses there, and he just takes it down and shows it to the chef, and they make our order. So that makes it convenient, to be able to do that kind of thing. That we've been there enough times. So they kind of help us out, maybe with a little bit of information about things, about how things may or may not work. Of course, this may or may not be the right information. Could be completely wrong information. I don't know. Let me stop my remote camera here. There we go. All right. So it could just be complete garbage. We have no idea. Okay. But let's take a look at this. Okay. So we've got, this is, Disneyland as it is, right now. And you can see we have up in the corner here, Galaxy's Edge. So at Disneyland, this area here, it will hold 85,000 people. That's the max occupancy of Disneyland. We have been there when it's been 85,000, and they've closed the gates and stuff, and you do not want to be there on that day. That's no fun for those days at all. Okay, so then we have up here in this corner, this little green area. This is Galaxy's Edge, so they're adding space for 7,000 additional capacity to the park. So that, when we add that to the 85,000, gets us a new grand total of 92,000 capacity of visitors to the park. So if we take that percentage of how many more, what capacity, Galaxy's Edge is adding 8% of space and capacity to the park. Okay, so what does all this mean? How does this all break down? Well, let's check the numbers. Let's just go over this and see what's going to happen. First thing is, there are rumors that there are going to be 3-hour windows. So you're going to get your time frame that you're going to go into Galaxy's Edge, and each window is going to allow the 7,000 guests that are allowed in that area, in each window. Then at the end of the window, there are definitely rumors saying that the area may be cleared. So they may have all these people come in, have them do everything that they need to do, let them run wild for 3 hours, go on the ride, everything else, and then say, okay, time's up, everybody out. And then the next 7,000 people will come in. So what does this end up being? This ends up being 5 windows of guests available per day. So that's, per chance, as an example, they'll be in 8, 11, 2, 5, and again 8 p.m. So that gets us all the way to 11 p.m. at night, which I don't know who knows if they're going to go that long, and that Galaxy's Edge is going to be open the same amount of time in the park, or if it's going to be affected by fireworks. So if it is affected by fireworks launchings, then probably there won't be an 8 o'clock. There'll just be 4 windows a day. But we're going to go with 5 for this example here that I'm kind of going over. So that means that if we're going to have 5 windows, that means a total of 35,000 guests can go through Galaxy's Edge in one day. So that's, if the park were at capacity, that means 38% of the people visiting the park will be able to go see Galaxy's Edge. So now, according to different sites like Touring Plans and other things like that, they're estimating that Disneyland will be at about maybe 90% capacity on the opening day of Galaxy's Edge. So it is possible that 45 or so percent of the people that come through the gate will be able to get into Galaxy's Edge. So we know, first of all, that if you happen to be able to get a reservation at one of the Disneyland hotels and paid the $300, $400, $500, or $600 per the night for a hotel room during that time, that you will be getting a window to go into Galaxy's Edge. So how much of the 38% or 40%, maybe at max 45 or 50% of the people that are coming into the park will be able to get an additional reservation for that day is going to kind of be unknown. It's going to depend basically on how many people, so many variables. How many people are going to be at the hotels, and how many of those people at the hotels want to get into Galaxy's Edge. And then we're also going to have to figure that what point, because when the park opens, right, it is not at capacity when the park opens. So as you begin to, and it's not going to be included in Magic Morning Hour at all, but if you are in Magic Morning Hour, it's kind of how I think it's going to work, because we have the app, on our phone, and I was trying to get to do some tests. Like, you cannot get fast passes through MaxPass until your actual ticket has passed through the gate and checked into the gate. You can't just say, hey, these people aren't in the park, you need to remove them because they're not here. So this is where I'm thinking we're going to be able to get our reservation to Galaxy's Edge is through the phone, through the app. So that means that your pass has to have gone through the turnstile in order to be able to get the reservation. So a lot of the people who are staying at the hotel get the Magic Morning Hour, so their tickets and passes are already going to be in the park. So once it's in the park, and they have if they're at the hotel and in there, they're already going to have their reservation. So if it's the people who are bought like a 3-day park hopper, and I'm using that day as their Magic Morning Hour, then they're going to get access. If they probably bought up, they'll have to buy up to Max Pass. This just gets too complicated to even begin. So they'll have to buy up to Max Pass so that when they get in the park, they'll be able to get the reservation through Max Pass to get into Galaxy's Edge. But I don't think that's not going to be, I don't think there probably is not 10,000, 20,000 people in the park at that time of the day. So if you get there right at park opening, if you're an annual pass holder like me, we have the Signature Plus pass, so we already have Max Pass built into our ticket. So if we got there very early in the morning, got in line, I don't know when they're going to start allowing people to line up. They may be telling people to go away. Got there right at the time we lined up and got through the gate. And as soon as you get through the gate, you have your app open as you go through. You immediately go to the Max Pass and select Galaxy's Edge and pick a time. You'll probably be able to get there that day, as long as you're one of the first people through the gate. Like I said, so it's going to be 35,000 guests are going to be able to go through. So probably, as the day goes on, you're going to need to be right there right as the gate opens if you have an annual pass. If you go and you buy a multi-day park hopper ticket that has early entry, then you'll be able to get in as one of the early entry peoples, and your pass will already be inside. So then you'll be able to get that beforehand. So if you're an annual pass holder and you get through the gate right at 8 o'clock and you immediately go to the app and you immediately go try and get the entrance to Galaxy's Edge, chances are you'll probably be able to get there that day, I'm thinking. So, because, the crowd, even if there's, say, 80,000 people in the park, it is going to, how long, it's not going to be at 80,000 until, probably at the earliest 10 o'clock. So I don't think it's going to, there aren't going to be 80,000 people waiting at the gate. At least I hope there's not 80,000 people waiting at the gate to try and get in on that first day. It is going to definitely be crowded, being the first day. Probably the easiest thing to do, if you're not super into wanting to be the very first people, the very first day, the very first hour getting in there, then the second day will probably be, that is predicted to be around 70%, 60-70% full on the park. So the second day may just be a real easy thing. You just walk through the gate and hit the button and get in to Galaxy's Edge. So it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be, pretty hard for some people. If you're definitely an annual pass holder, you're going to have to wait till 8 o'clock if you're like somebody with a park hopper ticket or staying at the hotel, you can already be in the park and be able to get there. So it's going to be interesting what happens and how long this continues. Are they going to go past the time that they've already set? The month or whatever it is that they've already set that they're going to be doing this. Is that going to extend to longer? We'll have to see. I don't think it would be a bad idea to continue, maybe not clearing the area, but at least having set times for people to go in. I mean, they're going to have to have some way to get people to leave if they're not going to be forcibly clearing people out down to zero and then allowing the next group in. You're going to have wristbands or something like that, so that after your time is over, you can no longer get on any ride or order any drinks or buy any merchandise, once that is done. So to kind of coax you to leave, it's like, no, you can't. That's what they do with some of the AP things when they close down a section of the park. If you're not an AP and you don't have the AP wristband, you can't get on any ride. You can sit there, and a cast member may come and coax you to leave, but then maybe they will be doing something like that with wristband-wise to, getting people to leave after their time and then allowing the next group to come in and then stop servicing the people. We're in the blue wristband hour, now we're in the green wristband hour, now we're in the orange wristband hour, something like that. So it's going to be interesting, crazy. I do see all the time that Star Tours line is continually getting lower, continually getting shorter. So I don't know if it's that people don't want to go to that ride anymore. People are done with that ride and they're just waiting for the new ride. Or if it's Star Wars fatigue, that people are just like, it's Star Wars. There's too much going on with that. I don't want to ride that ride anymore. It is kind of brutal for people who have problems with motion sickness, which is also going to be the problem with the new Millennium Falcon ride, because that's going to be heavy motion from what it looks like. So that may be a one and done kind of ride. I'll probably end up taking, we get motion sickness medicine from Mexico, so I'll probably end up taking some of that. That will probably help and let me get through it once I get on the ride. So let me know your plans. Let's see what everybody's planning on doing. I'm probably going to go the second day, if anything, just to try and get there. I don't want to be in the hyper craziness. I mean, I want to see it. I want to be there. I want to have some fun. And that's the thing. I want to have fun in the park and have fun in Galaxy's Edge. I don't want to be there packed, trying to rush and scramble and everything else. I want to have some fun. That's the key for me, and that should be the key for you, trying to be first or anything else. First is, there's only going to be X amount of, so many people can be first. Like, even if it's the total, even if it's the 35,000 people that want to get in there can get in there that day. I mean, can be a lot, but not be a lot, right? I mean, if you're going to try and be one of those 35,000 people, you're going to have to do a lot, because probably at least half of those are gone with the hotel people and the people with park hoppers who get in for the magic morning hours. So, you're going to have to work at it. And that's no fun to try and work at it. I mean, Star Wars is supposed to be something that we enjoy, that we like, that we spend time doing things with other people together and talking about and going over, different things, So let's keep it at that, right? But share your plans, what you're doing with everybody else, so we can see, what everybody thinks they're going to do. First day, second day, third day, or wait a month until the whole reservation thing might be lifted or might not. All right. So anyway, those are my thoughts, kind of the things that I've seen and maybe things that might be happening when Galaxy's Edge opens. All right. I'm Tom. This is Tom's Tech Show. I do all kinds of videos like this and everything else, like I said at the beginning of this video. And I won't go over it again because this already is a long video. So just like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and share my channel around. And see you at Galaxy's Edge. Take care.